so I put it back in the freezer. But now it's touching the other thing, and I don't know if the other thing is ruined, and I've been standing here for... Oh, we're on. Hi, sweethearts.
There's a scorch mark in a Polish field tonight, still warm, and 30 NATO leaders are in a room deciding whether it counts as an attack or just weather. It's the third time something's come down out of that sky. We'll tell you the 2 words on the table and why nobody wants their name next to either one.
Then, my loves, they cracked open a little sea monster that's been dead 250 million years, and its stomach is still in there. You can see what it ate right before it died. I need to know. I need to.
And a man ran the best blindfolded race of his life and lost it on the final step to a 4-legged situation you will not be ready for. Sit down.
I'm Sloane. Kiki's beside me. Blaze runs weather, and Aubrey Joe is already yelling from the garage. Thursday the 30th. 2 shows left on the counter. You're watching Broadcast 404 Live. Roll it.
Strong language, adult themes, and satire tonight. Plus the word accident, which I want to flag means the thing already happened, and somebody's now deciding whether you're allowed to be upset about it. We open heavy. Stay close. There's only 2 of these left.
Okay, here's what actually happened. Plainly, because the cold open was all mood. Last night, a Russian missile came down inside Poland, a NATO country, and detonated on the ground. Poland scrambled fighter jets. The alliance is meeting right now to decide what it just witnessed. Poland is a member of NATO. That's the part everyone at that table is staring at. There's a clause, Article 5, where an attack on one is an attack on all. Nobody wants to say out loud whether a missile in a Polish field counts. So for now, they're calling it, quote, a possible violation of airspace.
And here's the thing nobody in that room will say tonight. So I will. This is the 3rd time a missile or a drone or a piece of one has come down on Polish soil before. Twice since this war started. People were killed in earlier incidents. Everyone called it an accident. And everyone got very quiet, very fast. So there's a machine that decides which one this is. An accident, that's a condolence letter and a fruit basket. A violation, that's the whole world tipping over. Same missile, same field. And it gets sorted by a room full of people who would gnaw off their own arm before they call it the second one. Count it low, so nobody has to answer for it going high.
That's the honest part. 3 years we've trained ourselves to treat a missile in a NATO country as a rounding error, because the alternative is a war none of us want to be alive for. And you know what? I get it. I'd round it down too. The problem is, the people firing them have watched us round it down twice. They're not testing the airspace. They're testing us. 3rd time is not an accident. 3rd time is a man checking whether the alarm is wired to anything. Possible. It went off in a field. There's a crater. There is metal in the dirt that used to be a missile. And the finest minds in the Western Alliance are in a room, right now, arguing over the word possible. Like the thing hasn't already happened. Like if they conjugate it gently enough, it unexplodes. You don't get to call a detonation possible. A detonation is the least possible thing there is. It's the most finished thing there is. That word isn't caution. That word is a coward with a thesaurus, hiding behind grammar so he doesn't have to look at the hole in the ground. A man in a field in Poland heard something land. It was real. It was the 3rd real one. And 100 miles away, a room full of the most powerful people on Earth spent the night picking which adjective goes in the letter to the family. That's not caution. That's a decision. It's a decision to do nothing, dressed up as a decision they haven't made yet. They're deciding what to call a missile in a field. I can't help with that. Aubrey Jo can't either, but she's loud. And right now, I'll take loud.
Yeah, I heard all of it. Give me a second to shake it off because I got you. Okay, I'm here.
Take the second, then go.
Tony Romo, former Cowboys quarterback, the golf and broadcast booth guy, got arrested, and police say there was an open bottle of alcohol in the car with him. Buddy, you called every play in the league from a booth, and you couldn't put the bottle in the trunk. God damn it. Then UEFA, the European soccer bosses, voted to boycott the whole World Cup if Infantino goes through with letting private equity buy into it. And good. Some hedge fund wants to own the offside rule now. Sell your soul to a guy in a Patagonia vest. Why the fuck not? Everybody else did. Hold on, group chat. It's the mattress race lady. 6 days I left her on red. I'll deal with it. Not now. Anyway. Hate private equity and soccer. Moving on before I put my fist through this desk. We're losing in 2 shows anyway. That's the shit that gets me. We finally booked good bits and the plug's already half pulled. Local. Denby feedlot, back paddock, freshly fenced. Inaugural. Blindfold cone weave. Blindfolded, one hand on a guide rope, thread 9 traffic cones heel to toe. No touches. Fastest clean run wins. And Derek, still in the neck brace, still flinching, held together with athletic tape and delusion, builds the whole goddamn event himself to lure Margaret back. Registers it under the Vachel Holdings Group, LLC. He trained on 9 cones in his driveway for 6 weeks. She doesn't come. She's never gonna come. And he keeps setting up a chair at the finish anyway. So Derek runs it blind, one hand on the rope, and he threads all 9 cones clean. Best run of his goddamn life. No Margaret, no witness, just him. And on the last step, a goat. Not a metaphor goat, not a football goat, a literal actual goat. Off the lot next door. No dog in this fight, no invitation, no LLC. This goat just clocks in, headbutts Dave Rick square in the ass and files him face first into cone 9. Best run of his life, ruined at the buzzer by an animal that does not know what a fucking buzzer is. No clean run, no result. Streak stands, nobody won. The goat left, nobody's claimed it. That goat got away clean, which, for the record, is more than this whole show's gonna manage.
9 cones blind, best run of his life, taken out on step 9 by a goat with no stake in the outcome. The goat didn't even watch it land, just walked off, like this place is gonna walk off from us. Didn't even watch it land either.
A finish line chair for a woman who's never coming, and a goat nobody will claim? Oh, I love him, sweetie. He built a whole party and set 2 places, and both seats went to the wrong species. We're doing the same thing, aren't we? 2 shows, and I've set out chairs.
2 shows left, and my recurring guy just took a goat horn straight up his ass on the greatest run of his life. I'm gonna miss this shit so bad it's fucking embarrassing. Somebody claim the goat. It's gonna be a whole segment.
Okay, my loves, I need this one. Scientists in southern China dug up a sea creature that died 245 million years ago. Little thing, 2 feet long, long neck, mouth full of tiny fangs. And it is so perfectly preserved, they can see its stomach, its liver, its intestines, all of it, still there.
So a fish lizard that predates the dinosaurs is now the best documented digestive tract in human science. 250 million years, and it left more of a record than we're gonna leave in 2 nights. I've had roommates who left less behind.
And they can see its last meal, sweetie, right there in the belly. It ate, and then it died. And 250 million years later, a man in a lab coat can tell you what was on the menu. That's the little guy's whole legacy, his lunch.
A fish gets fossilized with its final snack still in its gut, and my body's gonna decompose into nothing but regret and an unpaid parking ticket? Where's my fang mouth immortality, huh?
Eat something nice today, my darlings. You never know who's reading your stomach in 200 million years. Blaze, honey, the sky.
Hey, tonight I want you to picture one guy in Valentine, Nebraska, out in his yard trying to bring his trash can in before pickup. It's blowing 54 miles an hour out there. On the open sandhills, with clouds and no storm anywhere to blame it on. That's near enough to damaging that the can's not coming in. It's leaving. It's a Boston problem now, where they're taking a sustained 46 off the water at 64 degrees. Phoenix, meanwhile, 108, 18% humidity. That guy's can would just quietly cook in place. Like ours. 2 nights and the lights off and the can's still on the curb. Holsted's dead calm again downtown. The fountain's still dry, and the little haze over the old exchange is sitting perfectly still while the whole county leans east. 1 block that won't move, and I owe you the log. My grandfather. Same reading every night for years, and I finally read to the page where it changes. The count in the margin is the number of years he wrote it before it moved. It moved the year the exchange building went dark. Same year the account started clearing with no balance, which, since I've got you, is why I keep reading about the COVID origin fight. Lab leak, animal spillover, the whole thing. Everybody wants the answer. Nobody wants to admit the samples that would have settled it got frozen in a room. And 1 year the freezer was somebody's job, and then it wasn't, and the room kept running anyway. Same as ours will. The information's fine. It's who kept the light on that nobody wrote down. Back to you.
The page changed the year the building went dark. I'm not going to say the obvious thing about that either. You've been somewhere else all night, though. Talk to me.
I'm fine. I read under a bad bulb at home, and I keep meaning to fix it, and I don't. Turns out the whole answer was just wattage.
Buy the bulb, sweetie. You solved a 60-year mystery, and you still can't see your own kitchen table. 2 shows left. Treat yourself to a lamp.
The record. Tonight, it's mostly a correction. Earlier this week, I said nobody would actually want to know the day their thing ends. You'd cancel dinner. You'd sit in the dark. No thank you. Well, now I know the day. 2 shows. I find I mind it less than advertised. We kept the dinner. And one more correction to my own record. There's a second notebook on this desk. It's been here the whole time. It is not the crossword. I've been keeping a private record of this place. 1 line a night. Not the news, what one of you did that mattered that day. 55 entries, and the shelf where the rest would go runs out about the same time we do. It's the best thing I've ever written, and none of you were ever supposed to read it.
I'm in a book. Sloane's got a whole book and I'm in it. What does mine say? Read mine.
No, you don't get to read your own entry. That's the one rule.
I knew. It's been pinned to the corkboard for weeks. 55, next to a date. I just never said which one.
Mailbag, my loves. And since the box is still quiet, I'm settling the things Sloane and I have been going at since lunch. She says the good subscriber names go alphabetical. I read them in the order they arrived because that's the order they showed up for us.
Alphabetical is a system, Kiki. In the order they loved me is not a filing method. 2 nights left. File them however keeps you standing.
It's the only one that counts, sweetie. So, Anak Aya Alex, Uma Alejandra, Gali Kankum, YT Gio, Sarah Andre, Brad Smithson, James Kim, real people, all of you, leave us a comment on any video before Friday. I read every single one.
Oh, here he comes, right on the buzzer.
Hi, yeah. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Quick one. I got a goat in my yard. Just showed up. Nobody's claiming it. Is that mine now? Legally?
That's my goat! Sir, where do you live? That is a wanted animal.
It headbutted my mailbox flat. Real strong little guy. Anyway, if he's mine, I'm naming him Derek.
Name him whatever you like, honey. A goat that just shows up is a gift. Comment before Friday, my darlings. We read them right up to the end.
I'm buying the bulb on the way home. 40 watts. I've said that 4 nights running.
You solved your grandfather in the dark, and you're gonna solve the hardware store on Friday.
I'll go tonight. I won't, but I'll go.
My loves, if there's a goat in your yard tonight, or a person, or a whole entire mystery you've been leaving unread for 8 days, go out and claim it before somebody else names it. I'll know if you didn't. I always do.
The count in the log stopped the same year the exchange building went dark. Tomorrow I read the page after that. That one I haven't seen at all.
Somebody in this county owns a goat named Dare Ick now, and I have never been prouder of a headbutt in my life. Not you gorgeous idiots.
Subscribe. Apparently the lights here run on it, and apparently so do I. Like it too. I'm told it funds a Pokemon habit I will neither confirm nor deny owning. 2 of you have goats now. I don't know how to end on that, so I won't. Good night.
The plant on his desk got watered again today. Old pot's cracked now. Nobody put in for that either. Somebody should keep something alive around here. I still didn't buy the bulb.